Hey everyone, today we're going to be working on my mower here. This is an old Craftsman. This thing is almost 20 years old. It's the flathead style, and it's got the square air filter. But I've cleaned the carburetor several times and it still stumbles and it still has issues starting. So what I did was I ordered from Amazon a replacement, and this one's available at the warehouse, and it was really inexpensive. I think it was like probably under $7. So we're going to give that a shot. So what we're going to do is we're going to start disassembling. First thing you need to do is remove this cover to gain access underneath this cover for that. And on this one, it's just 2 Phillips screws. And the cover comes straight off. And just set it to the side like that. Alright, we're going to put that right there. And then we're going to use a flathead to remove the air filter. Let's see if I need to replace that in the same time here, but right now I just want to get to it. And yeah, it's not too bad. It's a little dirty, but it's not horrible. Okay. All right. So here it is. Okay, and it's going to take these two. I'm going to lower the screen now. Okay, and I'm going to move you over here. So I don't think it should be a big deal here. Okay. Here's the carburetor. Here's the bracket. So what we need to do is we need to get to this. There's actually 2 bolts here for the cover, and then there's bolts behind there, okay? So first we're going to take this cover off. Alright, just a couple 5/16 inch bolts here. Thread into the end of the carburetor. And there we go. And I think that should just come right off. Is there another one here? I can't always remember. Oh yeah, there's 3. There's another one over here. It's so dark I can't tell. But here. And then that will give you your primer bulb and everything else with it. Right there, okay? And that attaches right to the carburetor. So we're going to set that over here. And then, just got to keep an eye on the linkage, but it shouldn't really be that difficult. Like I said, this is a fairly old mower. So there should be, there's a 3/8 over here. And there's another one right here. And again, I'm using a very old, this old Craftsman set. What a great set. They don't make like this anymore. So there we go. Now, you just got to remember where this goes. This thing goes right here. Pull that off, okay? Let it dangle there. And then we're going to pull the rest of those bolts out so we can make a quick swap of this carb. We have to undo the fuel, so you'll need you know, something to remove that. And then sometimes you can just pull it off yourself. Okay. And that should just pop right out. There is an O-ring right in here on these style carburetors. You want to make sure you replace that or get a new one for yourself. And then this connector here just turns over and it comes through. It's a lot easier without this fuel connector. And I'm going to try to just snake it off. Okay, there we go. And then I'm going to twist the fuel bowl off right there. Okay, there we go. Come on, fuel bowl. Probably going to leak out fuel. There we go. Yep, I'm leaking fuel. Not a good thing right there. Okay, wait a second. Okay. Alright, I'm going to put the new carb on there so I don't leak any more fuel. And it looks pretty much the same, I think. Maybe some little differences, but I think overall it should be very close. So I'm going to put it right there like that while I disconnect this. Okay. And like I said, I cleaned it several times, but look, it's pretty much the same. I don't think there's going to be any issues with it as far as functionality goes. And then let's get it back together. It comes with a new gasket and an O-ring, so that's going to be nice. I'm going to put the O-ring on first. Oh, my camera doesn't die. Never can tell. And then we're going to put that right there and slip on that. And then we're going to feed that in here. Sometimes you can get it on. And sometimes you gotta fight a little bit, but hold it. Okay, I'm leaking, but there we go. And then I'm going to push that on and make sure that's on good. Alright, and then remember where this goes, okay? I'm going to put that on there. Make sure it sits in there. And then we can start the screws, okay? We can start the bolts. Okay, one right there. This really is not that big of a deal to get a new carb on here. Okay. And then we're going to put that right there. Alright, and get the other one on. And start it. Okay. And don't go crazy on the tightness of this thing, okay? We just make sure it's on tight, but it's not crazy tight. That's why I tend to use a 1/4 inch, you know, so that I know I'm not going to over tighten it. Alright, and then what we can do now is we can then okay, so the fuel tank and bolts should be filling up, so I brought a pair of pliers. We're going to move over the clamps so they're in the right place. Okay, there we go, just like that. And that's done for that. And then we'll get the new the next thing to go on back is the filter cover for the carburetor, this thing right here. And there should be a gasket for this. Right here, there's a gasket. There's a new gasket. And we're going to try to find the location of it and make sure it goes in. And there are little pins right there to tell you which way it goes, and really it can only go one way. So the pins locate the gasket, push it down. There we go. See, like that. There's 3 pins. You can't really mess up the direction. Line it up with the tube on the vent, and then we can start the screw. These bolts to make sure that we get a nice good seal on it. Okay. Plug socket. There we go. Take that one over here. And then the one over here. Yeah, that does not left. Oh yeah, that's because it's new. It's probably chasing the threads down on it. Yep. The power bulb's going in good. Okay, so let's get these. It should be tight enough right there. Okay, that feels good. Alright, let's put the air filter back on. Okay, and then let's give it a whirl and see how we did, okay? Alright, so let's get this back on, and then we're going to put the cover back on, the 2 screws, and then we will crank it over and see how the new carb does as far as it running, okay? Hopefully, you know, it's immediate, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be, but you can never tell sometimes, you know. Let's see. There we go. So we are all done with the carb install. I still have to do a seasonal tune-up on this for sure, but right now let's do a little priming. Hopefully that bowl is full of fuel. Let's see. Do I have fuel in here? I think I do. Oops, I still do because it's leaking. Okay. Let's see how we do. It's not priming yet. It runs really well. It idles really well. I'm having a problem, I believe, with the primer circuit, so I'm going to take that apart and take a look at it and see why it's not wanting to prime the bulb. But other than that, I think it's good to go as far as it running, so I'll take a look at that later. But again, thank you for subscribing and thank you for watching another video. Have a great day.